time I came here, this is my third year in a row, and I decided I'd go and look at my last two videos. Y'all got the camera rolling today. They post this stuff, okay? So it's out there on social media, and I went back and I looked at last year, and when I saw last year, some dude actually posted a response to the video. He did it about 3 months ago. So maybe he was interested, but I found it real interesting what he had to say. First thing he said is, sounds like a traveling evangelist. The second thing he said, why so angry? The third thing he said is it because SC&G got crushed under the weight of the abandoned construction projects and is now owned by Dominion Energy? So I thought if I wanted to send anything to y'all today, I kind of take those negative shots and try to turn it into the positive message that I have to deliver to you today. The other thing is I ain't got to let some internet troll get the best of me. So that's why the first question he asked is, why so angry? Look, if y'all want somebody to come here in a suit, stand behind the podium and show y'all a PowerPoint on something you've already read about in the newspaper, I ain't your guy, okay? I ain't your guy. But it takes a 24/7 effort to keep the lights on 24/7. You got to be available to get out there and do it, and you got to do it through other people. Every morning I face the mirror at 4:45 in the morning. It's my routine, and I look in that mirror and I thank God for another day to be on this earth with this very short life and this very short time frame that we have to try to get something done. And I utter this very simple prayer: Lord, lift me up so I can lift you up. Lord, lift me up so I can lift you up. And you go about that during the entire day. At 9 o'clock when I go to bed and brushing my teeth, I look in that mirror again. There have been 3 exceptions when I didn't go to bed at 9 o'clock, and that was when Clemson was playing for the national championship. Other than that, it's 9 o'clock, and I'm hitting the hay, and I'm brushing my teeth. Why are you shaking your head? I'll talk baseball if you want. But anyway, the bottom line is, I look in that mirror again and I reflect on the day. It's the mirror test. Develop that mirror test. Look in that mirror at the end of the day and look back on your day and see what did you do to work through people, to lift people up, to see what you accomplished. To see what you accomplished. Because see, in order to do that, what it takes compassion, it takes energy, it takes conviction. And if somebody looks at a motor that's running at a high RPM and calls it anger, guilty as charged, string me up. I'm fine with that, because I am one angry dude, I can assure you. So then let's look at the other comment that was made, the other question. Is it because SC&G got crushed under the weight of its abandoned project and is now Dominion Energy? Well, I got to tell you what we're going through right now. The merger was fine, okay? We went through the merger. And it was fine. A little uncertainty and things of that nature. But I'm going to tell you the thing that really got to me. It was in the last 2 months. When they started taking those logos off my bucket trucks that said SC&G, you've been with the company for 31 years. It's been here in this community. Okay? I mean, that was the equivalent. Every one of them, we have hundreds of them. Y'all see them. But every time they went in there to take that logo off, they had these 2 guys that came down from Chicago. They blow up with a torch. They peel it off. They squirt it with some ether. They wipe it off, and they stick that new logo on there. And it was the equivalent of taking one of them big old square bandages, about 6 inches, 4 inches, putting it on the hairiest part of your body, leaving it there for about 6 weeks, and then grabbing it on the corner and ripping it off. That's what it felt like. That's what it felt like. But you know what we talked about? We talked about David being pursued by Saul. We talked about when you find yourself in those life's moments when you feel like you're under the gun and you're being pursued, and certainly our employees felt that way. And you know the best thing that you can do? Embrace reality. It's important. It's important because we went through that. I kind of felt like the Egyptian Pharaoh. You know, when the new Pharaoh comes into Egypt, what's the first thing he does? He goes out to all the monuments to his predecessors and he defaces the heck out of them so everybody knows who's in charge. We all know who's in charge, okay? And that's kind of what we've gone through here recently. But sometimes reality is humiliating. Sometimes it's embarrassing, okay? But it's always deserved. And we deserve it. We deserve it. And all you can say sometimes is, I'm sorry, and drive on. The most selfish act that can be performed in your life is to feel sorry for yourself. When life busts you in the belly, you got 2 choices. You're either going to get bitter or you're going to get better. And if you want to keep living, you better get better. Realize that when the storms of life come, tomorrow is a new day. pick up the pieces, and drive on. That's what's important. The other thing is, when you're knocked down in the gut, promote the positives. I mean, Dominion is a great company. They're a large company. They can withstand a lot of the financial travails that doomed us. I mean, we didn't go bankrupt. Employees didn't lose their 401k and their pension. Dominion came in and they had something for the customers. They had something for the employees. And they offered something for the shareholders, but they also offered something that we need in South Carolina, and that is the stability to promote economic development, yet again, which is of critical importance. And it's funny how the Lord makes things turn around in your life. My new boss is a guy named Rodney Blevins. He's the CEO of the Southeast Energy Group. Believe it or not, he comes into this whole fray. I've known Rodney for over 20 years. He was the Vice President of Distribution Operations at Dominion when I was Vice President of Distribution Operations at SC&G, and there are very few of us in the industry who handle mutual assistance in the face of natural disasters. So here's my new boss. After all this is done, they named him, and they couldn't pick a better person. He's a Virginia Tech grad. He's not an accountant. He's not a lawyer. No offense, but he's what you see is what you get. Thank God. And he's a good person, and it's amazing when you're knocked in the gut, focus on the positives, and that's certainly positive. The other thing, when you're facing adversity in your life, stick to your strengths. Stick to those habits that you got. You know, first you make your habits, then your habits make you. And the best thing that you can have as a foundation to make sure that you can handle adversity is to make sure you've got a solid routine in your life. And that routine can serve as your foundation of being able to face adversity. I tell my employees, be a family, because being a family gives you perspective. They go out and perform the 6th most dangerous job in the world. They have to fill out a tailboard conference before they start their work. Going up there, putting their hands on 23,000 volts. If there's a pinhole in the glove, they're gone. They hit their elbow and they energize conductor, they're gone. 6th most dangerous job in the world. I changed their tailboard conference. At the top, they're just blanks. And it says the following family members expect me to come home safely at the end of the day. And they have to write down their family members on those blanks. Some of them write down, some of the young bucks write down my name or the dog's name because they ain't married, got any kids, and it doesn't matter to me as long as they know, just like you, somebody is depending on you to do your job and do it right, and the perspective of getting home at the end of the day is what is truly important and gives your life meaning. The other thing, have some wash your feet moments. They can be small, you don't have to save the world, but have those small wash your feet moments. That'll put things in perspective too. Now I know y'all hate my guts because last time I came here I talked to y'all about picking up all the extra shopping carts in the parking lot and carrying them back in the store. Okay? Yeah, I hate that, all right? But do it. What do you do in that very common scene? You left it better than you found it. That's what leaders do. You leave it better than you found it. I got a new one for you now. When I go to Bojangles, I go to Arby's, or I go to Subway, and they give you that platter if you're eating in the restaurant, okay? What I always do is take that tray or take that basket and I go to the trash cans on either side and I stack them all up and then I carry them to the counter and hand them to the people. And you'd be amazed in that little simple act how gracious and appreciative those people are of what you do. So have your little small moments. So now you can add baskets to your shopping carts. If you want to serve people, you got to love people. I'll tell y'all going to read about me in the newspaper, okay? Because I invade people's space just like Joe Biden, and I hug them, and I tell them how much they appreciate it and how much I appreciate what they do. And that's what it takes. Those are your wash your feet moments that you have. And then sometimes when you're in the middle of change, okay, and you're facing adversity in your life, whatever it is, maybe it's your health, maybe it's the loss of a loved one. Sometimes more change will help you when you're going through change. This will get real personal with you. I have a son that finished Clemson. You shake your head about that too, I'm sure. But I have a daughter who's a rising senior at USC. So anyway, she's a tri-delta there, and I spend more money on that sorority than I do tuition. I can assure you. So we went for a while then where I didn't see her because they're so busy doing all the things that they do and going and doing whatever they do, okay? And so I called her up and said, Ellie, I said, I sure would like to see you. And she said, well, Daddy, you can come and join me and my friends at church. Well, I'm a Methodist. I mean, I go to Methodist church, teach Sunday school, things of that nature. I hadn't been in a Baptist church since I was an infant, okay? But I decided if I want to see my daughter, I got to go to church. So I go over here to the church. Not only am I an angry person, I'm so much of a traditionalist too, as you may imagine. And this was at the contemporary service, okay? So they were getting at it. So I go in there and I'm on the pew, and on the pew I have got 7 Tridellas. I got every young man in that church looking at me saying, what did he do to have that? And I mean, they're all out there, and I love it. And I'll tell you, I haven't missed a Sunday since. I haven't. And I'll tell you why. Sometimes change is good. Because I go to this church, and it's complete anonymity. Nobody knows who I am. Nobody. It is so refreshing, and I'll tell you why. Nobody's coming up to me saying, I got this tree in the yard that's near the power line. I'm like, nobody's saying, I screwed up and built along the property line below the 360 at Lake Murray. Can you give me a variance and bail me out? I'm sorry I was like that. Nobody says anything along those lines. Nobody says, why is my neighbor's lights on across the street when my lights are out? Can you explain that to me? Nobody does that. And so in that venue, I'm able to sit there and just listen and focus on what is being said and what is being sung. There's a pastor there by the name of George Wright. He's a USC graduate, and he's unbelievable. He knows the word, sounds on that foundation. It is awesome. There's a blonde-headed girl who sings in that contemporary band. Okay, she's a brunette now. She kind of changes back and forth. She can flat sing, and if she sings 5 songs, I can promise you, 4 of them, I got these tears I'm choking back that kind of come out the corner of your eye right here. It totally changes you. And what it changed me is to be able to focus on something that, although the world changes all the time, and it'll change today and bring adversity, one thing doesn't change: God's Word. It never changes. And that's the foundation of stability. So sometimes when you're faced with change, that's the most important thing of all. You know, it's kind of like old Alan Jackson, I think, says it best when this world starts to get you down. He says, well, turn your eyes towards Jesus, look full in His wonderful face, and the things of this world will come faintly dim in the light of His glory and grace. And nobody sings it like old Alan Jackson. The thing you need to know more than anything else came from the 15th century. If you don't remember anything today, Thomas Kempis wrote The Imitation of Christ. And here's what he said. And it is outstanding. If you don't remember anything else today, remember this, because it'll help you cope with anything else that comes about you in your life or to your family or anything along those lines. And it is this: man proposes, God disposes. And if you come to the realization that you are not in control and realize who is in control, I promise you a peace of understanding will come over you, and you will be able to handle anything that life brings to you, because that right there in of itself puts everything in perspective. Those are 5 things that you really can look at. So now let's come to the final observation. I've answered the 2 questions. Why I'm angry? I am angry. Yeah, I'm angry with passion and conviction to try to get something done through people every day. To get them to dig deeper and reach higher, and that ought to be the goal of each one of us every day. But then he came up and he talked about a traveling evangelist. That was his observation. Well, he's wrong. I don't travel nowhere. I rarely leave the state of South Carolina. Bob Paul can tell you that. We both grew up in Calhoun County. Were y'all here last month when he mocked me? All right, but anyway, I love Bob. I do. He and I worked together, and he was awesome. And, but, you know, I don't go anywhere. I work in Lexington County. I'm getting ready to be living here in Lexington County. I'm real happy about that. My family and farm are in Calhoun County. I got all I need in those 2 counties. And thank God they're connected. I really don't have to go too many places at all. But being an evangelist, I have to say, yeah, I am. I've been to the burn unit 16 times. I've buried 2 employees. I had a daughter who was diagnosed with leukemia, and I sit out there and watch the weather radar, and I see storms come in here that absolutely nobody in this room has any control over. All we can do is go out when it's finished. and pick up the pieces. And as long as I'm in that business and as long as things like that happen, you bet your bottom dollar I'm going to be an evangelist. Now, maybe he meant I'm an evangelist in the way of, Steve Martin in the movie Leap of Faith, where I've got like a rigged up revival that I'm laying on you people this morning, and I really don't mean it. But you know what? I'll even take that, because in that movie, his character, a broken man, is transformed and saved. I hope he's talking about the person I admire most in my life, and that would be the person who is still an evangelist, Dr. Reverend Billy Graham. I remember growing up in Preston, South Carolina, population 33 in Calhoun County, and we had a party line. And my grandma Keller would be up there at her house, and she would call on the party line, and she'd say, "Keller, Billy Graham's coming on." And I'd immediately jump up, run barefooted through the cornfield. She'd be sitting on the settee, crocheting. I'd sit on this old worn-out ottoman. And from sitting there and listening to George Beverly Shea open up with song, and then going through and listening to Dr. Graham bring the word, passionate word. People probably thought he was somewhat angry too, but he was convicted, brother. And then at the end, the thing that had the most impact on my life more than anything else was watching all those people from those coliseums and those arenas all over the place come down just as I am without one plea. Just as I am without one plea. It made a huge impression on me while I was sitting there drinking my little 8-ounce Coca-Cola out the bottle that my grandmama always had in that old steel refrigerator that was ice cold and I loved so much. But there were two important things that I got out of this. Rejection by this world puts you in divine company, so embrace it. And welcome suffering, because suffering produces endurance. Endurance produces your character. Character gives you hope to the greatest mercy, grace, and love that you can possibly know. So in closing, I would like to just thank the gentleman who posted that on the internet after my talk. For you gave me the initiative and the material for me to be able to talk to you folks today. And I thank God for lifting me up and giving me this opportunity, because my sole purpose is to lift him up. And to that individual that posted it, in the words of my great friend, Nikki Haley, the then presidential Donald Trump, bless your heart.